Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, GMS that rule well and that teach well, and peace and salutations to you fellow Wakim. All right, laboring in this truth and pushing this doctrine, this true doctrine, singing the new song to the four corners of the earth, waking up the rest of the elect. All right, to you say shalom. Quick lesson, man. Just meditating. Well, I was at the gym. Earlier today, man. I was just listening to my usual Manatazak, and how you say the brother that be doing edits, you know. Okay, I forgot his channel name. Manatazak, Banyamyan 144, I believe. So correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I was listening, to some of the playlist that that I got, that I usually listen to when I'm working out, and it was talking about wisdom, and the wisdom of the Lord, just enduring forever, man. Lasting forever, man. I was just meditating on how many people that have ever lived. I mean, we all know souls. I mean, people reincarnate and whatnot, but just imagining how long, this earth has been, and people been on the earth, for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, man. And just, how wisdom has increased, is increasing in these last days, and, how the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has endured throughout time and generations. The word of the Lord endureth forever, man. Like the scriptures say, this world may pass away, but the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai shall not pass away. Okay. Just thinking about all these people, people's past lives, and the times of all these empires, and times and eons and thousands of years ago, people living their whole lives and not having this truth, and then, still being subjected to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to the Lord, even though they don't know him, all right, living whole lives and not knowing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, even though, this truth is given to us, man, all right, to the Lord's beloved, the elect, the remnant of Yasharallah, and how beautiful it is, man, and how much of a blessing and how precious this truth is, man, of the Bible. Because people, you get a whole bunch of people, Christians and Catholics and whatnot, Christians that read this Bible front to back, but they don't have the understanding of the Bible. They don't got the 100% truth, But we, us lowly, poor, but rich in faith, men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, have this truth, And it's all because of predestination, because of election, all because the Lord chose us from the beginning of all of creation, from the beginning all of time, from the beginning. The Lord chose us, all right, to wake up in these last days and to understand this truth and to receive this truth, man, all right, and to be saved, okay, if we endure to the end, if I endure to the end, okay. I was just meditating how great and how precious this truth is, all right, because the 144,000, that number, even though it's a big number, it's very small compared to the rest of the population of the people on earth, The scriptures say, many shall die, few shall be saved. The scriptures say, yeah, few shall be saved, and that slack it, that will be my, Lord willing, I don't want to that'll be my next lesson about, few shall be saved, But let me get this one precept, okay? Second Esdras 8:1, it says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High Yahweh hath made this world for many, but the world to come, the kingdom of heaven, for few. All right, and who's that few? Okay, that's the Lord's elect, the 144,000. They're gonna be the first fruits. All right, the rulers, the joint heirs, the joint rulers. All right, of Yahushua in the kingdom of heaven. All right, they're gonna be those that shall not taste of death in these times, man. All right, like the Lord said to his disciples, he's like, some of you here shall not taste of death till his second coming, till the Son of Man returns his second time, man. Roughly paraphrasing. All right, but all those men died. So was the Lord lying or just filibustering? No, he meant it. It's talking about these times, those same men reincarnated, all right, back again for the last go around before the kingdom of heaven. All right, they're born. All right, they're those same men that were with Yahushua, that he told that to. His 12 disciples are back again. We don't know exactly who's who, but they're here. All right, know that for a fact. That's a fact. They're here. Just like John, the Revelator. All right, the angel told him he shall prophesy unto many peoples, tongues, nations, and peoples, again, all right, in the uttermost part of the earth, roughly paraphrasing. But he ended up dying in the island of Patmos. So was that angel lying to him too? No, he's back again, all right, here on earth again, doing that same thing, all right, prophesying to many peoples, nations, and tongues, all right. And this last go around, they're going to be redeemed. All right. They're going to be translated. All right. Not die. When the Lord returns, he's going to save them from death and give them a new body and be forever with Yahushua. All right. And I don't know about any of you people, but that's the greatest thing ever. Knowing that that's true and it's going to happen no matter what. And I pray that I'm numbered amongst those men. That's why we're fighting. And if I fight and endure to the end, for sound doctrine, all right, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua in truth and sincerity, I will be one of those men. Even if I have to die. The scriptures say to strive unto the truth unto death. And the Lord Yahushua will fight for thee, All right. So this is the greatest thing ever, man. And it's not given to all men. It's for few. This world was made for many, but the world to come, the kingdom of heaven, for few. And we're those few men, okay? And it wasn't even up to us. It was all up to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because he chose us from the beginning of time for us to understand this beautiful truth, all right? Because there's many, 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 many stumbling blocks that the Lord could put upon anybody, us, but he allowed us, all right, by his choice, all right, for us to not fall, amongst those stumbling blocks. He cleared those stumbling blocks for us, all right. He gave us the ability to run, jump, crawl under, all right, get climb over those get around those stumbling blocks. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because there's many people, Israelites, non-Israelites, all right, specifically Israelites, who have fallen, all right, tripped up, all right, got stuck, all right, by a spiritual stumbling block, trying to seek the Lord, because, the Lord blinded their minds or something, man. They got disenchanted, got offended in the Lord. But hey, the Lord never chose them, but he chose us, unto us. All right, the water. Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You know, this truth is more precious than rubies. All right. John 15:16, it says, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask my Father in my name, he may give it to you, give it you. All right, so you don't choose, you haven't chosen the Lord. All right, you didn't choose the Lord to understand this truth, man. It wasn't up to you, okay? It says, but I have chosen you and ordained you, established you, okay? All right, so count yourself blessed, okay, that you even understand this truth, man. All right, because there's a lot of false prophet Israelites, a lot of Israelites that fell on stony, thorny ground, man. All right, yeah, all of us brothers know that parable and what it means, okay? Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed thee in the belly, all right, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. All right, and those nations talking about the Israelites amongst all these nations. Okay, even Israel itself, Yasharallah itself, is a nation within a nation. You know. Okay. So you can just replace that word nations with the Lord's people, because that's who this message is for, and to his people, for the elect, by the elect. All right, of Israel. Okay. So before you were even born, man, before you even had consciousness in your mind, or before you even came out of your mama's womb, all right, the Lord knew you, and you were ordained, okay, to be a prophet, to understand this truth. All right, okay, and know that wasn't given to all men. Okay, this is a special gift. Okay, Proverbs 3:13, it says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom. All right, what wisdom? Wisdom of rocket science, trigonometry? No, the wisdom of the Bible. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver. Lock you. You hear that? The merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and rubies is a very, very, very sought after, rare. All right, how do you say it? Gemstone. All right, earth material. It's very rare, and it's worth a lot of money, especially pure rubies. All right. She is more precious than rubies. All right. Who's this she? It's talking about the wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shai, which is the truth of the Bible. Okay. It's more this truth that we understand, us Akim, that we have, that the Lord blessed us with. Man, rubies don't even compare, man. This truth, hey man, was not given to all these people, man. These people, these everyday people that you walk by, go to work with, okay? They got all this money, they know a lot, but they don't know Yahweh Shema Shai, man. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai chose you. All right, count yourself blessed, man. And don't take it for granted. All right? And all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her, unto this truth, man. All right? So remember, always remember, Akim, how precious this truth of ours is. Okay? First Timothy 4:14, it says, neglect not the gift that is in thee. This truth that's within us, that the Lord blessed us with from the beginning of time. Okay? Which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on with the hands of the hands of the presbytery. All right, because we all got this truth by who? By how? By listening and learning it from our elders. All right, from our apostles and elders, man. Okay, the men that have been laboring before us. All right. Okay, and what have they been doing? All right, preaching this truth, shining this light, which is the truth of the Bible. All right, this gospel, shining this light for everybody to see and to have a chance to understand, to at least understand, but not everybody's going to understand. Only the Lord's elect, his chosen, will understand. Okay? Not everybody. Matthew 13:44 says, again, the kingdom of heaven, all right, this truth, all right, like the scriptures say, wisdom bringeth a kingdom, So, again, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto treasure hid in a field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Okay? So imagine, you just walking across a field, of tall grass, doing your thing, and you stumble upon the most valuable treasure of all time. All right, that's this truth. That's hearing this truth and understanding it, man. Okay? That's how valuable this truth is, man. It's likened unto that. Because, hey, it's one thing to run into, some GMS videos, and watching them. It's another thing by stumbling upon GMS videos and actually, understanding what they're saying and inclining your ears and actually becoming a new creature, being baptized in this truth, all right? And becoming, running, like the scriptures say, those that run, that readeth it, teach, so those can teach others also, you run into GMS videos, you keep watching and you keep watching them, you build your spirit up and your knowledge of the apostles and the elders and the men of GMS that are teaching you through these videos, and you end up out there on the highways and byways like them, all right, and you endure to the end, and bang, you're saved, man, and when the Lord returns, because the Lord's elect is a small number compared to the rest of the people on earth, man. 144,000 people. That's a small, very small, minute number compared to how many people live on earth, man. There's, I believe, trillions of people on earth now. Let's look it up. All right, 8.2 billion people. All right, that's a lot of people, man. Compared to 144,000. Okay. That's not very many people, man. All right. Sirach 1:14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, Okay? And a very few number of men will fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know? And it was created with the faithful in the womb. Okay? It was given, you were born to be a servant of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know? Even though you were born a little child, grew up being a wicked little kid, wicked little teenager, but bang, the Lord opened up your mind to this truth, and here you are serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's because you were ordained from the beginning of time. All right. All right. You're supposed to understand this truth. You were chosen. There was no chance that you weren't gonna understand this truth. You were, no matter what. And even then, amen. There's men that have came into this truth and fell out and went back into the world because they were chosen to just come into this truth and be an example of what can happen to you if you stop doing the work of the Lord, man. For those that will be saved and that will, endure to the end, So all we can do is fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai and endure unto the end, okay? Because when you constantly fear the Lord, all right, and pray unto Him and serve Him in truth and sincerity, Yahweh Shem Yahushai will be with you, and you will not be plucked out of His hands, because you are never going to be, okay? Because we don't know if we're gonna, if we're the elect or not. We're gonna know when the Lord returns, because we never fell out. And how do we? When will we know that? When the Lord returns. Because hey, I could wake up tomorrow and become a fallout out of this truth, man. And same with the next man. We don't decide. Yahweh Shem Yahushai decides. Hey, the Lord could have made me an ignorant Jake who heard this truth, watched, seen the men of GMS and scoffed and mocked and, and became an unbeliever and never came into this, into this fold, the fold of the Lord, this brotherhood. Slakia, give me a moment. Can you turn that down?
The water?
What are you playing? The video?
Nothing.
I heard people talking.
Oh, okay. Turn it off.
Slakia. I got a few more precepts. I'm gonna end it off. I'm being long-winded. 1 Corinthians 1:27 says, "But Yahweh hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh hath chosen the weak things of this world." The weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Okay? Because, hey, the Lord didn't bless you with this truth because you got big, strong muscles, because you're rich, because you're famous, because you're a cool guy, because you don't cuss a lot. No. The Lord chose you because He just chose you, man. Hey, and he made you into a way. He made your life into a, put you in a position in life where people, see you as weak. Oh, he's just one of those the carpenter's son. Like the Lord, man. Oh, he ain't nothing special. Oh, King, you want David? You want David? Well, what about my other sons? But you want David? Oh, him? He's a prophet of the Lord? How can he be numbered amongst the saints of Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Like Wisdom of Solomon says, So we're weak, all right? We look foolish in the eyes of this world, of these people, man, when we go out there to the highways and byways. We don't got all purple on. We don't got flashy garments. Some of us do, but we don't got like armbands made of gold, all right? We don't look some brothers got wrinkly garments. Some brothers got garments that barely fit them or got holes in them. Some brothers got holes in their pants. Hey, we do our best, try to look presentable. But hey, man, these other camps call us the bum camps, man. All right, snow dummies, because we're willing to go out there, all right, and prophesy in the snow. I can't wait till it snows. I'm a bundle up, and go out there and prophesy, man. And hey, the Lord just has it. These past few weeks, it gets cold on Sundays when we go out there and prophesy. And I'm like, lately I've been like, man, I've been wanting to tell my brother, hey, I'm gonna go out next week, or if we go out there, let's not be out there for too long, let's go on a different day when it's warmer. But then I'm just like, I wake up that Sunday morning, or like later, I just end up being like, you know what, fuck it, let's go out there, man. At our usual time, and show the world, show you how much we care about the Lord, how much we're willing to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai, even in the most uncomfortable weather, all right. So even in that aspect, even in that little aspect, hey man, we look foolish, all right, in the eyes of this world, man. And before even coming into, even when you just came into this truth, man, all right, hearing those brothers, tell me, because I was fully persuaded in my mind that the men of GMS had the 100% truth, and hey, they're saying blessed is the man that understands this truth, man. Roughly paraphrasing, blessed are your eyes for they see, because hey, this truth isn't given to everybody, man. All right. And I didn't see myself as, hey man, the Lord chose the weak, us men of the Lord of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, the men of GMS and the affiliates. Hey, we're just some regular men, 9 to 5 working dudes. We got regular families. We're not rich. All right, we don't got the flashiest. We're not the tallest pretty boys. We're not got the most money. We're not famous. We're some regular ass dudes, man. Regular dudes. And the Lord chose us to understand this truth, if we endure to the end. James 2:5 says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not Yahweh chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him?" Okay? And we love Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All right? And our mentalities prove that we love Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? So we're rich in faith. All right? Someone that's rich in the faith of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they go out there and prophesy, man. Week in and week out. Okay? No matter the weather. Yeah, if the weather's like dangerous, we're not going to go out there. But if it's uncomfortable and we're able to go out there, I'm going to go out there, man, and prophesy and wake up the rest of the elect, man. Okay? So yeah, man, the Lord didn't choose everybody to understand this truth. All right? This truth is a precious gift. All right? Psalms 147:10, it says, he delighteth. All right, talking about the Lord. It's like it. He delighteth not in the strength of the horse. He taketh not pleasure in the legs of a man. The Lord taketh pleasure in them that fear him, in those that hope in his mercy. Okay? So the Lord don't care about how strong you are, how rich you are, how smart you are, how famous you are, how liked you are by the world, how good you are at talking, how good you look. The Lord don't give a damn about none of that. He cares about those that fear him, all right, and have faith in him. And that was given to them in the womb, all right, even before the womb, where they were in the belly of their mama, all right. It was with them from the beginning of time, The Lord chose you to be one of those men to prophesy and understand his truth. All right. All right. Like the scriptures say, the elect to put on as the elect vows and mercies. All right. Let's get that, man. Because the characteristics of the elect, all right, is gonna be fearing the Lord. All right. And being meek and humble. Okay. And the Lord is dealing with men like that are meek and humble and that fear him and is merciful. Okay? All right? Because not all men are like that. But the Lord created you to be like that. All right? You were handpicked from the beginning of time to be the way you are. All right? To be liked and chosen by Yahweh Bashmi Hashai. Okay? Ephesians 2:8, it says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is a gift of the Most High, Yahweh, not of works, lest any man should boast." Okay. So this truth, because you understand this truth, it's not because of your own will, man. It's because it's a gift of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai. All right. And that gift was given to you and was going to